Well, joining me now to discuss some of the financial issues surrounding your IT system is Jasmine Birtles. Very good to see you, Jasmine.
Hi.
So, tell me, when a company is looking at the sort of IT infrastructure it needs to put in, what sort of things should it consider?
Well, costs-wise, you've got obviously your upfront costs, you've got your installation, you've got the hardware, the software, and of course training. But then you've got future costs to think about. Obviously, you're going to be updating your software. You will need future training, maintenance, and that all-important support, I think.
It seems really complicated. I mean, it's almost as though you actually, if you are setting up your IT infrastructure, you actually need to know quite a lot about IT.
Well, yes, I think so. And frankly, I'm the last person to actually want to. You know, trust me, it's a whole other world to me. But the thing is that there are so many different companies, IT companies, which range from the fantastic to the criminally insane, in my opinion, that really, you know, unless you have at least some basic knowledge, you can be totally taken for a ride, you know, and certainly financially you can.
But I assume you can always then turn to your IT supplier to say what sort of stuff do we need to do to give you the functionality you want.
Absolutely. Once you find a trusted IT supplier, then they should tell you what you need and how much it's going to cost, importantly. They should be able to tell you this for the next year, the next 5 years, and write it into your contract. And also another very, very important thing I consider is they should be able to tell you how fast they're going to be able to deal with an emergency. Because we are so IT dependent now that frankly, even a few hours of downtime can cost you thousands. So I would like to see written in the contract that they will come immediately and they will deal with it on the spot. Taking computers away for 24 hours is unacceptable for me. You cannot deal now without a computer, without your system for, you know, longer than an hour, I would say.
Okay, so say you spend all this money up front, you get the infrastructure in place. Now, clearly, you've then got to train the staff and ensure that they're up to date and that they keep going on retraining courses. Is this something that, though, sometimes is overlooked simply because of time, cost?
Yes, well, yes, both of them, absolutely. And I think it is genuinely overlooked quite often. You know, you get so taken up with the machines, the software, the this and the that, and oh, look what it can do, look, it can make the tea and do the toast at the same time. But, you know, people forget that you've got a whole load of employees with all this marvellous stuff, and if they don't know how to use it, well, you know, you've completely wasted your money. So I think you really need to ask your suppliers, you know, seriously, how much training is going to be needed per employee? Is this a couple of days worth? Could be, you know, and you are going to have to factor that into your financial planning. Say 2 days worth of training per employee. That means they have to be taken out of the office 2 days plus the actual training costs. This is all something that has to be considered, because if you don't, you've wasted your money, basically.
You certainly have, Jasmine. Thank you very much indeed for some great advice there.
Thanks.
Coming up on the rest of the programme. How to beat cybercrime. We look at some of the methods that criminals are using to get into your IT system.